This is called positive affirmations, and the difference between a positive affirmation and an identity statement. So we're starting with my identity statement. I am of worth. My relationships are based on mutual trust and respect, and I own my happiness, joy, and well-being. We know that at birth and through early part of life, if we don't address our trauma, we'll start creating false narratives about ourselves, such as I have no worth, it's my fault, etc. So you can read them as they come down the screen. These false narratives are our beliefs, they're our identity, and we behave according to those false narratives or our identity. Where I'm going with this is this pattern in the world today to put up positive motivative signs or having a positive motivator speaker come in, right? I don't find those to be effective because most people will forget everything they heard by the time they get to the parking lot. And that poster that sits there for years and years and years is not changing behavior. So, a positive affirmation such as, people like me, I can do this, I feel good. Let's go over to the internal narrative that's going to stop it. Remember the brain, we had the outside, the cognitive area, then the critical faculty, that is the veil between that and the subconscious. Okay, in this particular slide, if your false narrative is, I'm not good enough, you can see it just eliminated a positive affirmation. It doesn't exist. It hit the critical faculty and bounced off. Well, what about people like me? What if my true belief is I have no worth, but the sign is everyone likes me? The I have no worth will trump it. That's 90% to 10%. An outside-in fix doesn't work. It has to be inside out. Who are you really? So if my positive affirmation is, I feel great, I feel great, I feel good, here's who I am, but yet I believe I'm powerless, the I feel great is worthless. It bounces off the critical faculty. Remember, I think the triangle is a square, but in fact it really is a triangle. I've just perceived it differently. So I have this false narrative going on. So here's the difference between true self and false self. So if my false self says, I'm not good enough, I have no worth, I'm not lovable, let's look at the behaviors associated with those false narratives. I'm a perfectionist. If I'm not good enough, I'm going to overcompensate by being a perfectionist, which is a way to hide my imperfections, my flaws. It's a maladaptive, addictive behavior. I have no worth. I don't have any boundaries. People walk on me. I'm nice. Nice guys finish last for a reason. They have no boundaries. They think saying no is wrong. It'll push everyone away because they need the 3 A's, affirmation, affection, and approval. And then I'm not lovable, so they're seeking the 3 A's. It's interesting how they're all connected. But remember, when adults are seeking the 3 A's, such as like Facebook likes, etc., or they're talking in a way they're trying to get you to agree that they're right or they're smart or they're whatever, that's seeking for an identity from the outside in. It doesn't exist. But what if my identity is I am of worth? Then my behavior system is I'll make principle-based decisions because I live in that foxhole. If I believe I have worth, I'm going to create an environment that's making good decisions for me. I trust and respect me. Only then can I have mutual, so I am civil with boundaries. I know how to say no. I know how to protect my boundary. I am perfect. Remember the definition of perfect. An event or an experience that is exactly what you need at that moment to come closer or to become integrated, or in my life, come closer to God. I'm first integrated, then I can come closer to God. Perfect is a mistake that gets a retake. I'm good with making mistakes. And because I'm good with it, I can accept that and I can work on my retakes. It's interesting how I'm making fewer mistakes. I make them, and I make them in droves, but they're different mistakes from different circumstances. I'm no longer repeating the mistakes of my childhood. Too many adults I see are functioning at the effective age of a child or a teenager. They're still living in their first half of life because their narratives are false. They're not authentic. I get retakes off of my mistakes because I believe I'm perfect, because I believe I have worth. Allow that to sink in. Practice being perfect again. inside-out approach to life, creating the foxhole, principle-based environment that makes the decisions for you. We'll see you in the next one.